Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Women Talking. And this movie stars Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, and it's about women talking. Spoilers. And that's basically all there is. Just women talking. No, I'm just kidding. They're actually talking about things that are like very interesting, and overall, I enjoyed the movie. And there isn't really a whole lot for me to say about it. It's whether or not like you personally find what these characters are talking about interesting or you don't. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of Do the Right Thing, where you just all have all these characters just living in this like one environment, and it takes place over the course of like a day, and it's about its characters. There isn't really a plot, and that's kind of the same thing here. There is a plot, but that's not really what's going on like throughout the entire movie. It's mostly just these conversations, whether or not these characters are going to leave or stay, like what decision are they going to make. And it's interesting to watch, and I like the performances, and no one stood out to me as bad, and there were things that I liked about it. It's just that there wasn't anything too crazy about it, and I did like some of the choices that it made, like the, I guess, antagonist of the film, if you want to call them that. You don't really see them. You never see two men talking to each other. It's just mostly about women, and that's what the core of the movie is. It's about women and like how much they're struggling in this situation, and there's a lot going on like that they have to go through, and it kind of just shows you at points or tells you, and you get the idea. And I like what it's going for, and that's pretty much the core of the movie. It's just dialogue, and in a way it is kind of like Steve Jobs, in a way where it's just dialogue and nothing else that happens outside of that. And just about all of the women in this movie, they're very similar in terms of like personality. Like there isn't too much of a difference between one and another. But here's why I'm okay with that, is because in the environment that they're living in, they're all pretty much living exactly the same way. And I feel as though it's kind of the point. Like, you have a bunch of people who are like living similarly, if that's even a word. And they're all going through the same crap, and they're all just trying to decide in a group what to do. And some are like having differing opinions, and you can tell that there's a lot of history with them. And in terms of like how the movie presented everything, I was okay with it, and I started to get behind it once we get like a half an hour into the movie, because in that first 15-20 minutes ish, maybe a little bit less, it kind of opens up with narration, and it brings you up to speed. And at first I was scared whether or not the whole movie was going to be like that, and just a bunch of narration just explaining out loud everything to you. And luckily that does not happen. I mean, it happens like in the beginning of the movie, but that's just to make things move along a lot faster so you can get to the core of what the movie wants to be. And I like that about the film. And I am happy that this movie is under 2 hours. Like, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It knows exactly what it wants to do, and it just goes with it. And it's a nice, simple movie. In terms of music or visual presentation, like, there isn't a whole lot going on for me, and nothing really stood out to me when it came to the technical elements of the film. It was all just, yeah, it does the job. There isn't really much that made it stand out, and it's not like crazy directed or anything, but I don't feel as though the story really called for anything like that. So I'm not really going to take off too much credit for the film, because I understand what it was going for, and it wasn't the most boring movie to look at. But I would have liked something else going on visually, like consistently throughout the film. That's all I'm kind of really wanting. Just a little bit more of what we got. And I'm not upset that I watched this movie. I am glad that I saw it. It was a good movie. I'm happy that I was able to sit through it, because I do think it is a movie worth checking out. I'm not sure if I will ever revisit this movie. Maybe in like 5 years from now I'll revisit it, but there isn't a whole lot for me to get into. I didn't really feel super attached to any of the characters. I didn't find them like unlikable intentionally or unintentionally, sorry. But it just didn't like click for me. It didn't like grab me or have me like super engaged. Like I was entertained throughout, but I would have liked a bit more. Overall, it was a good movie, and I would recommend that you check this movie out. It is worth your time. If you can get past that first bit of narration, then you have a good movie waiting for you, and I think you'll enjoy it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Women Talking a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Women Talking, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Space Jam. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.